Good morning, students. Today our new topic is synaptic transmission. Okay. So before going to the synaptic transmission, the messages are transmitting from one neuron to another neuron. How it is jumping from one neuron to another neuron. So we can observe. This is called what here? It is called as a neuron. Structure of the neuron. So this is the dendrite part. Dendrite region. Okay, the region is called as a cyton. It is called as a cyton, and this is called as a axon part. Here it contains a bulb-like structures, terminal ends. It is called as a telodendrite part. Sorry, telodendrite part, and last one is called as a telodendrite part. Telodendrite. Above the axon region, it contains a myelin sheath. So these are called as a myelin sheath. Okay. So this region is called as a, what is this? Cyton region, and this region is called as a axon region. Okay. So this is the structure of neuron. Now the messages is reaching here into the dendrite region. So this is the dendrite region. The messages are reaching now. From cyton to the axon part, the messages are transporting here through the axon region. Now it is end region is called as a terminal end bulb-like structures, so that is called here telodendrite. Okay. So this is the telodendrite. Now the messages are storing here into the telodendrites. So this is called as a synaptic knobs and synaptic vesicles, etc., etc. All points are there here into the synaptic where into the telodendrite region. Now another part, this is called cyton part. Okay, these are the dendrites, and again this is called as a axon part, and again this is the dendrites. Which dendrites? Telodendrites and telodendrites. So this is the telodendrite. Okay. So the messages are transmitting from one neuron to another neuron here. This is one of the neuron. This is one of the neuron. From here to here, the messages are jumping here. Okay. So this is called as a synaptic cleft. Synaptic cleft is called as a structural bridge and functional unit of the nervous system. Where telodendrites and dendrites, in between the gap is there, the gap is called as a synapse. Here the messages are transmitting from one neuron to another neuron is called as a synaptic transmission. Today our topic is synaptic transmission. So how it is moving? How it is jumping from one neuron to another neuron? Okay, now we will discuss. So this is the what here synaptic end region. It is called as a what here synaptic transmission. This is the axon part. It is the axon part. From axon to the terminal end bulb-like structure. So this is called. Here we are called as a presynaptic knob. Okay. And postsynaptic knob. Okay, postsynaptic knob. So the button-like structures are forming here. Here into the synaptic knob, it contains a synaptic vesicles. Synaptic vesicles. Synaptic vesicles, when it is reaching here into the synaptic vesicles, calcium ions are releasing here. From calcium ions are stimulating into the synaptic vesicles. Now it is what here attaching into the membrane, so that is called as a what here the membrane is called as a postsynaptic membrane. So in between the synaptic cleft is forming here, so the synaptic cleft is called as a structural bridge and functional unit. So this is called as a synapse. The synapse is mainly electrical synapse and chemical synapse. Which synapse? Electrical synapse and chemical synapse. So this is the electrical synapse, number 1. So electrical synapse, the messages are what here it is sending, the messages are very fast compared to the chemical synapse. Chemical synapse. Second one is the chemical synapse. Synapse are 2 types. Okay. So electrical synapse, it generates the electrical impulses from one neuron to another neuron. It is too fast. The messages are transmitting very fast into the electrical synapse. If you see here how it is transmitting to the impulses from one neuron to another neuron, like current wire. If you are cutting current wire, the bulb is not focusing here, okay, or not blowing. Current wire cut aithe bulb anedi velagadu. Likewise, the electrical synapses are transmitting the messages. Electrical synapse anedi anta veganga panichestu untundi chemical synapse kante kuda. Ikkada second one is called as a chemical synapse. Okay, chemical synapse. Chemical synapse, they need to the neurotransmitters. Chemical synapse, they need to the neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters are neurotransmitters. Okay, through the neurotransmitters. For example, the neurotransmitters are excitatory and inhibitory. For example, if you see the excitatory and inhibitory, number 1 is the excitatory. Excitatory is the what here? ACH. Okay, acetylcholine and what here? Dopamine and epinephrine and norepinephrine. So these are the excitatory neurotransmitters or the inhibitory, excitatory or inhibitory. And second one is the inhibitory neurotransmitters. Inhibitory neurotransmitters are the glycine and GABA. GABA means gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay. So this is called as a inhibitory neurotransmitters. Now from presynaptic node to the postsynaptic node, the messages are transmitting here. How the messages are transmitting? This is the cyton, it is the axon part, okay, it is the terminal end like structures, bulb like structures are forming. So this is called as a synaptic knob. Synaptic knob. It contains what here? Synaptic vesicles. Synaptic vesicles. The messages are reaching here from cyton to the axon region. End bulb like structures, calcium ions are releasing here into the synaptic nobes. Calcium ions. So presynaptic knob to the postsynaptic knob. What here? The electrical potential or the potential is generating here into the what? Synaptic cleft or the synaptic knob. The messages are jumping here from one neuron to the another neuron. So this is called as another neuron. Okay. So here it contains into the chemical synapse. What here? Neurotransmitter is called ACH, means acetylcholine. Okay. Calcium ions are releasing here into the postsynaptic membrane potential or postsynaptic membrane potential above region, they have a receptor sites. It is a postsynaptic membrane. Here it contains receptors. The messages are transmitting from here. It contains a gap junctions also. If you see the electrical synapse, it contains a gap junctions. If you see the chemical synapse, neurotransmitters. Okay. Now the message is jumping from one neuron to another neuron. Okay. So likewise, what here? Neurotransmitters. Okay. Or what here? Synaptic transmission is working From one neuron to another neuron, the messages are transmitting likewise. And another thing, if you see the postsynaptic membrane potential, it is the postsynaptic membrane, it is the presynaptic membrane or the presynaptic knob and postsynaptic knob. In between, what here, the messages are jumping here with the help of ACH, acetylcholine. Calcium ions are releasing here, okay, and here ion gated channels are forming here into the postsynaptic membrane. The messages are transmitting here from one telidendrite to another dendrite region. In between the gap is there, that is called as a synapse. So likewise the messages are transmitting. And next one is the EPSP and IPSP. EPSP means what here? Okay, EPSP means excitatory postsynaptic potential, IPSP means inhibitory postsynaptic potential. So both are forming here. So this is the what here, postsynaptic membrane. This is called as a postsynaptic membrane. So this is the postsynaptic membrane. In this postsynaptic membrane, ligand gated channels are forming. So these are called as a ligand gated channels. And next one, it contains what here, ion channels are forming here into the postsynaptic membrane. Okay, postsynaptic membrane, ion gated channels are forming, and chemical signals also there, chemical signals. Now if you see the chemical synapse, neurotransmitters are releasing here, and then what here, what happened here, when ion channels are opening here, calcium ions are releasing, when the potential is generating here, that is called as a membrane potential. That is called as a new membrane potential. ఒక కొత్త రకమైనటువంటి ఏంది membrane potential ను జనరేట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది. ఎక్కడ సార్ అంటే పోస్ట్ సినాప్టిక్ నోబ్ లోపల లేదా పోస్ట్ సినాప్టిక్ membrane లోపల కొత్త రకమైనటువంటి పొటెన్షియల్ జనరేట్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది పోస్ట్ సినాప్టిక్ membraneలో. ఎప్పుడు అవుతుంది అని అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎగ్జైటేటరీ పోస్ట్ సినాప్టిక్ membrane పొటెన్షియల్లో. ఎగ్జైటేటరీ పోస్ట్సినాప్టిక్ మెంబ్రేన్ పొటెన్షియల్ ఏం చేస్తుంది సార్ అంటే ఇట్ కాజెస్ టు ద డీపోలరైజేషన్. ఇట్ కాజెస్ టు ద డీపోలరైజేషన్. ఈపీఎస్పి, ఎగ్జైటేటరీ పోస్ట్సినాప్టిక్ మెంబ్రేన్ పొటెన్షియల్ ఈజ్ జనరేటింగ్. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ ద వాట్ హియర్, ఇన్హిబిటరీ ఐపీఎస్పి, ఇన్హిబిటరీ పోస్ట్సినాప్టిక్ మెంబ్రేన్ పొటెన్షియల్ ఈజ్ ఫార్మింగ్. ఐపీఎస్పి కాజ్ టు ద hyperpolarization. So likewise what here new potential is generating here into the postsynaptic membrane region. Okay, so likewise the messages are transmitting from one neuron to the another neuron. Okay, if you see the postsynaptic potential or the summation occurs axon hillock. Terminal end-like structures or the bulb-like structures are forming here. So that is what here, it is when receptor sites postsynaptic membrane is forming, then they are generating into the postsynaptic membrane potential, and summation occurs to the axon hillocks, and summation of inputs from many presynaptic membranes. Many presynaptic membranes is called as a spatial summation. ఓకేనా, అనేక రకమైనటువంటి మెంబ్రేన్ మెంబ్రేన్స్ అనేవి ఇక్కడ ఫామ్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. ఇక్కడ ఇన్పుట్స్ ప్రీసినాప్టిక్ మెంబ్రేన్ లోపల, కాబట్టి దాన్ని మనం స్పేషియల్ సమ్మేషన్ అంటాం. అలా కాకుండా ఓకేనా, సమ్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ సక్సెసివ్ ఇన్పుట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ సింగిల్ ప్రీసినాప్టిక్ మెంబ్రేన్. ఇక్కడ మెనీ కాదు, ఓన్లీ సింగిల్ ప్రీసినాప్టిక్ మెంబ్రేన్ దగ్గర ఉంటే దాన్ని మనం టెంపోరల్ సమ్మేషన్ అని అంటాం. Temporal summation. So likewise spatial summation and temporal summation also forming here into the synaptic transmission. Okay, if you see the diagram of the synaptic membrane, diagram of the structure of synaptic transmission, if you see here, so this is called as a axon. We know about the axon, and now the part is called as a axon terminal region. This is the axon terminal region, and these are called synaptic vesicles. Synaptic vesicles, and this is the presynaptic membrane. Okay, it is called as a presynaptic membrane, and this is called as a synaptic cleft. Synaptic cleft is the structural, bridge and functional unit of that neuron or synaptic node. And next one is this is called as a postsynaptic membrane. This is the postsynaptic membrane, and this is called as a presynaptic membrane. Presynaptic membrane and postsynaptic membrane. Okay, and next last region, here it contains these all are what here receptor sites. Okay, receptors. And next one, this is the what here neurotransmitters. These are all what here it is called as a neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters are mainly here acetylcholine, okay, and what here ACH, acetylcholine, okay, epinephrine or the adrenaline or the noradrenaline, it is commonly called, okay na. So inhibitory neurotransmitters are the GABA, gamma amino butyric acid, okay. So likewise the messages are transmitting here into the from one neuron to another neuron, okay. You have to remember here for NEET point of view IPSP and EPSP, EAPCET point of view, okay. What is the neurotransmitters? Neurotransmitters, okay. So neurotransmitters are very important for NEET exams, okay. So how the messages are transmitting from one neuron to another neuron, okay. So you have to remember, okay. So this is the what here today our topic is synaptic transmission. Thank you dear students, please subscribe. Thank you.